Hello, this is Simon. Welcome to my channel. And in this video, we're going to be using containers on D&D Beyond character sheets. So in this video, we'll go over what they are and how to make best use of them. So the first question to ask is obviously, what are containers? So containers would be your bags, your backpack, bag of holding, that type of thing. So if you go over to the character sheet, well, onto D&D Beyond, we can see that these containers, backpacks, barrels, baskets, chests, pouches, all the stuff. Not all of these will show as a container on your sheet. The things that you'd put stuff into, like saddlebags, pouches, the barrels, those will show us. So to give you an example, I've made a character except for the equipment. So let's go with the starting equipment. I tend to go with a dagger, arcane focus, explorer's pack. I'll do this all and then go. And then it just gives you the whole bunch of items. So this becomes your inventory. You'll notice that things like backpack are listed separately here. And this is a container. The backpack is a container, so it would be showing as a separate tab. You can see that the items here are in the backpack rather than just under equipment. And the best way to think about it is that the equipment tab will now be what's on your person outside of the backpack, like on your belt or in your pockets. You'd have the backpack show on your back. It's cool. You can move stuff through them by clicking, and you can see, scroll up it, and you can move the backpack. Now this item is now in the backpack. That's simple enough. It does the job, but there are better ways to utilize this feature. Let's start with this. This checkbox will apply the weights. If you notice, there's a huge difference. It's because all these items which are in your backpack are not being counted on your weight. They're just not being counted. This is the example if you had your backpack and you just left it on the ground. It's no longer on your weight or on your person, so it doesn't apply. But when you click it, the backpack's weight, as well as anything that's currently in it, will now add to your character. You can customize this, and we'll go over that in a bit. The best way I would show this is to have different containers with different things. You'll notice that this has a maximum quantity of 30 pounds, but the Explorer's Pack gives you more items than the backpack can actually contain. So you'll show it as showing as 54 pounds, even though it only has a maximum capacity of 30. This is because you're not meant to have everything in a backpack, despite D&D Beyond's insistence. Things like rope, bedrolls, and even torches and water skins, they would actually be contained outside the backpack, attached to it. The backpack is usually like a hiker's backpack, so you should have your rope attached, your bedroll clipped underneath. You'd have torches on the side. Your water skin would probably be attached to the side as well on the other side. And that's generally how your backpack would be. It's not like a rucksack going to school. It's a proper hiker's backpack. That's how it's supposed to be anyway. We can see the description here, kind of back, typically with straps to secure it. You can also strap items such as a bedroll or a cord rope to the outside of the backpack, which is what you're meant to do. So, but there's no way to really think, if you add it to equipment, it's just not going to look very nice. So what I tend to do is I will add a bunch of extra containers to make use of what is where. So for instance, if we go to manage inventory in a second backpack, we now have two. If we go to the one that's currently in use, click it, click on customize. Then we rename this. I like to use emoji. So if you are on Windows and you hold Windows key and the full stop, you then get this. You can, if you don't have it already here, you can just start typing in something like bag. You can see some relevant things. So I would check this one. Then I just put in inside backpack. And then I put another emoji just because I can. And then in my notes I put in store items inside the backpack. So for my other backpack, I'm going to customize this. Now in the weight override, this means that even if you check the box, the weight here is what's going to be the weight added to your character. If you set this as 0 and capacity is 0, it will make it easier to show everything. It won't apply. Oh, I think it'll be better to show you after I've actually added stuff in. But let me just change the name first. So I'm going to use the same emoji because it's still the same backpack technically. And just put outside backpack and new emoji, and then I'm going to put in for items attached to outside of the backpack. So now you can see I've got inside backpack and outside backpack, and this allows me to move the things that are inside the backpack. The outside, like the bedroll. Outside backpack. The rope. Good outside. Water skiing, good outside. Torches will go outside. So those will be on the outside, attached to the outside. It's still showing 32. I don't know why. Shouldn't be taking that much. Okay. Let's see that we will. Yeah. I should really have moved those across, but you know how it goes. So this is showing that what's outside the backpack attached to it. This will be what's actually in the backpack. I like to do that just because it makes it easier with the quantity stuff, but obviously we don't want the backpack adding its weight again. Can still add all the weight again. What we can do is this is where we would customize the weight. Just set it to weight override 0. This is for the is the weight of the actual backpack itself, not the items that's in it, just the backpack itself. We're not adding the weight to your character, so put this at 0. And the capacity override would be a way to override the capacity. Backpacks have a capacity of 30 pounds. We put in 0. And of course, override will put in 0 again. It doesn't really matter just because this isn't an actual backpack. So now you'll see that it's changed here. This 20 pounds is purely these 5, 6, 11, 21, 28. So when we click on that, it only adds in the weight of what's actually in it and nothing to do with the actual backpack itself. Unlike this, which is adding the weight of the backpack as well, which is 5 pounds. Because it's 22 in the backpack and then 5 makes 47. So then you could do this with pretty much anything. You could, for example, have something like a chest. If we add this, just to show you, there is a chest here, which is a basic chest. So let's say you had a chest, and this was going to be your there's a spell called Lehman's Secret Chest. This allows you to conjure a chest, put anything in the item, and then send it back to another plane where it's nice and secure. And you can just summon it back and forth as you need to, which is a lovely spell. So just put in secret chest used for anyone's secret chest spell. The chest itself would have to cost 5,000 for the spell. We'll put in the weight at 0. Actually, I wouldn't need. Yeah. Weight was 0. 0 because you don't ever have to carry it. You always remove the weight override if you are going to some reason carry the chest, but why would you? We're not going to override the capacity because it does have to have a capacity. So it depends. And this would mean that anything added, it doesn't actually have anything. I would actually leave this unchecked because you'd never actually pick it up. That way it doesn't ever apply. Because if you don't check it, it doesn't apply the weight to your character. This would be a good way of adding tabs or containers that would be maybe not on your person. So you could have a container that is completely different. Like I can use the Allen's box just because it saves having to do the overrides because it already has no weight, no capacity. So I could put this in, say, Demi Blame storage Devlin created with Demi Blame. I cannot type Devlin spell. Then you have a demo plane where anything you put in there would not add to your character. This is if you had the demo plane spell, make a demo plane, store your long-term stuff in there. You could even add one, and in your come on, and then this could be for items stored in parties base vault. So if you had a vault, like if you're higher level, you might have a vault in your base of operations. So you could add stuff into the vault, and then you know what's in there is what you own that's in there. It allows you to keep track of what you're storing and where. I said I would use emojis to try and make it a bit prettier. There's also an extra feature when it comes to coins, because you can choose where your coins go. So I'm going to add a nice pouch, because you're supposed to get a pouch with the starting equipment, even though it doesn't show it. And I would customize these. So emojis, I would use my emojis. I use the money bag one. Even though technically the pouch is supposed to be like a flap rather than actual like a sack. But anyway, and it says coin pouch. And I might make a note to say coin pouch attached to belt. Just so I have an indication of where this coin pouch is. So in your gold stuff, you do have an option, which is put coins in containers. Now, it's not fully implemented, so it's going to be a bit weird. So let's say, instead of having your coins in your person, you have coins in here. And then we can apply it. So, here's the thing. This would then be your total wealth that you have across all your containers, including ones that are not on your person. Like say you had coins in Demplane, it would show here still. It would give you an indication of how much you have to spend it one way or another. And then you can go into your containers to see what is actually where. The problem with using coins in containers is that, unfortunately, the weight of the coins will not actually then apply to your character. Only the money added directly here would actually add weight to your character. There's a workaround, it's a bit clunky. Traditional examples, if I put this as, it's supposed to be that for every 50 coins you add £1 of weight. So let's say we had 50 coins here. So it is trading £1, but this is because the pouch itself is £1. Again, it's proper, like a leather mini satchel. So this should be actually adding £2, not one. Because if we go here, and again add in 50 gold, you'll see that that has gone up an extra £1. The only workaround is create a custom item for weight. So if we put in a custom item, so here we put in coin weight. Use to fix coin weight. And you'd probably do this for anything that's going to be on your person. So if you wanted to store coins, maybe I'll get this as well. If you want to add coins to your backpack, you probably want to copy this across. The weight override would be 1. So now you can see that's adding that weight of 1 to the capacity, and it's also adding the overall weight to the gun pouch. So when you apply it, it is adding the two, the 1 for the actual pouch and 1 for the 50 of coins. It would be up to you to make sure that that amount is correct. So if you had a variety of coins, so let's say you had 27, 27, 29, and actually 7. So let's say it looks like that. You would have to check to make sure how many 50s are in that. So the best way to do it is just to round up or down to the nearest 10 and then add them. So 30, 60, 30, that is 120. Divided by 50 is 2. So this then should be 2. And that the way is correct. You wouldn't get the finer details of the per coin. Unfortunately, you can't change weight to anything less than 1. And so it's only add up by pound by pound. But to be fair, you wouldn't be wanting to track it on a per coin basis because it's just, that's a little bit too much. Like if you were, the only point of weight is to track things like encumbrance. And I don't think any DM is going to go, oh, right, now that you've had that 1 extra coin, you now can't move. It's a bit too silly. So you'd only track it based on each added pound, otherwise you wouldn't be bothering tracking. And it's just quick math. It's easy enough. So yeah, and that would be how you do pouches. And again, choosing whether they add to your character just by choosing to click the check box. Considering, I do wish that you could rename this to like on person, but you can't. But this is how you would do containers. Just customize the closest match, and then you'd have containers that can track anything from your items being on your person, to in your backpack, to in your pouch, to in a demon plane, to in your base vault, to in your house, on the cart, your horse's saddle, etc. And that's how you use containers. Simple enough. Hope this helps. Drop a comment or a like if you did. Thanks.